Well, hello there. So, would you pay a travel tax to go to your favorite destination? Cruise lines, the world cruises, 28 countries for $25K. They're booming, okay? But some cruises are getting a little close to the edge, if you know what I mean. All that and so much more on this episode of Love, Travel, Live, Travel, starting now. Well, hello there. I am one of your hosts, Joshua Harrell, joined by the fabulous, incomparable.
Keep going.
Yeah, all of a sudden I stopped right there.
You ran out of adjectives.
Yeah, I ran out of adjectives. And colorful.
How you
Jason
doing,
Block.
everybody? How are you, sir? Yeah. It is good to be here.
And our little yeehaw in the background, that's our little producer, Evan. That's actually his recording. That's his voice. Yeah. We have producer Evan behind the cameras, as well as our associate producer, Paul, in the corner in the director's chair. I think he's trying to, maybe upgrade himself.
He's angling
a little
for a
bit.
promotion, it looks
like. And very excited to have
Show me the money.
Very excited to have in our studio audience today, Miss Erica Scanelli.
Woo!
Yes.
I didn't know that.
You didn't know she was right there. I know there's a sea of people right there, but she's right there. And she's in the purple jumper.
Oh.
Yeah, you see her now?
There she is.
Yeah, go.
And Erica's here because she just finished a 2-day virtual event all about luxury. So very happy to have her here. She's going to just recover.
I was going to say, I'm surprised she has words left.
Well, she's not going to be talking.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she's just in the audience.
I see.
She's doing that, yeah. No, so I hope you guys...
She's now mute.
Yeah, she's now done. She's gonna be like
used her words for the day.
One time I worked in a mall store, and
Yes.
Celine Dion had come into the store to buy some makeup, and she was going to be performing that night, so she didn't talk during the day if she was going to be performing. So she just came in and she did this.
Wait.
She did this. She just pointed at everything
Did she
she
hold
wanted
her
to buy.
throat as
Yeah,
she did it?
Well, she wanted you to know that she was not talking.
That she's preserving the
She was
pristine
like,
instrument.
But this is what I loved. It was a very quiet makeup store. Nobody was really coming in.
Okay.
And she does this. Basically, I'll have everything.
I'll take it all. I'll have the menu.
Yes, that was a very random fact. If you are new to Love, Travel, Live, Travel, this is the show all about those of us who love travel and who've decided to live travel, make it a living, and travel and sell travel and be all in the travel.
It's really a lifestyle choice.
I
think is what we're going to call it.
It's a lifestyle choice, just like that shirt that you have on today.
You know.
Yeah.
Some people went.
I'm speechless now. I'm
Yeah,
speechless.
some people went a little neutral, but others.
Well, I've been told that I need to liven up my wardrobe here and there, and that black sweaters were getting a little passé.
Don't tell producer Paul that, because when he sits in for you,
Yeah.
he purposefully wears a black top just so he can channel.
That's good.
Yeah. Okay.
That's good.
Now he's got to upgrade.
How's he do?
Oh, he's awesome.
Is he channeling it?
Yeah, he's channeling it.
Yeah, go.
So yeah, I went with something a little understated but still colorful.
Absolutely. Well, I love it. I love a bit of color. But yes, what are you wearing at home? That's not what we're asking today. But
We're not doing the big nude boat today, Joshua.
No big nude boat. Man, that was a great story last week.
I love that story. I also love the comment from the chat. Why is this news?
Yes. Oh, who said that? Why is this
remember,
news?
but-
It happens every year out of Tampa. That was fantastic. Well, if you are joining us live, please drop your comments down in the chat.
Yes.
We did ask you a little question about do you talk to people on the plane, next to you on the plane, or to your rideshare driver, or people at the gate at the airport? So answer that question in the comments, because we want to get to know you, and we might share a little answer to that question. Let's see. Attitudes and Latitudes said, I don't usually chat on planes, sometimes in Ubers, especially if it's oops, it went away too fast for me, Evan, especially if it's an unfamiliar area. Producer Evan decided to switch it up on me.
I do. Yeah, I was gonna say no. I never talk to, like an Uber driver. But I do if I'm in a different city, and I don't know why that is.
Oh, so if you were doing it in Atlanta, you would not?
No.
No.
Now
Okay.
my wife will go on a 5-minute ride, and she will know their life story.
Yep.
People tell her things. She had.
It's
yes.
a curse that
Yes.
Jillian and I possess.
Do people just unload on you?
Oh, I get everything. And I also probe for more, because I feel like if they're going to give me a little, they'll give me a lot more if I start asking probing questions. And I mostly like to do it when I'm in the car with someone else, like somebody traveling with me.
Okay.
Because I want to make them very uncomfortable with how intense.
It's like a
the
game for you?
It is. I've been hit
Okay.
in the side several times for like stop asking questions. But I do not like to talk on a plane.
Nor do I. But I have a funny story. So my father-in-law, he used to travel for work all of the time. And this was back before 9/11, and my wife and her sisters and her mother, when they were young, they met him at the airport, at the gate.
Okay.
And they're waiting, and people are getting off and getting off and getting off. And they're like, where's Dad? Where's Dad? Mm-hmm. And they heard this person come off, and they're like, oh, someone else was meeting them. And the person says to the woman, oh my God, this guy just wouldn't shut up. He was just talking to me the whole time. And they're like, where, so then they leave, and they thought that was kind of funny. Like, ah, ha, ha. And more people are getting off, and they're like, where's Dad? And about 5 minutes passes, and no one else has exited the plane.
Yeah.
And they're wondering, did he miss the flight? Because, this is before cell phones and all that. He finally emerges from the gangway. And he was looking like he had just woke up. Apparently he had fallen asleep on the flight.
Oh no.
And there's still some people lingering, and then they go down to baggage claim, and they get his bag. And he walks up to this guy, and he's like, hey, John, so good to spend time with you. And of course, it's the guy who said that he spent the whole flight talking. So yeah, thank you, Evan.
Did they ever tell him that that's what happened?
I think so.
Oh,
yes,
okay.
yes.
They were like,
I think so.
Oh man. No, I on most of the time I think I give off a vibe, don't talk to me on the plane. Like I have the earbuds in. I mean,
You put up the wall.
yeah, I've got the big sunglasses and a boa.
And a
no.
hat. Usually
Yeah.
there's a sun hat.
Yeah, no.
That kind of protrudes into the
But
neighboring seat.
yeah, like, and if I fall asleep, it kind of hits them.
whacks the person, yeah.
No, I try to give off that vibe because I don't want to open the door, but
The door, like the exit emergency?
no, I'm not opening.
Oh, you mean like the,
Like I don't want
the
to
door
open
to conversation?
Yeah, the magical window of conversation. I don't want to
Sorry, I
open
was
the
taking
window
you
there.
literally.
Yeah, no, I'm not. But I on international flights, it
Yes.
seems to happen to me all the time because I like the aisle seat with the two seats. I like the aisle seat, and the person in the window wants to talk right when we're just getting on, and it doesn't stop, and I'm like.
And you're like, homeboy, we got 9 hours to
Yeah.
go. We're not starting this.
Yeah, the last one I had, she was trying to sell me on a purse that could have like a secret lock so you didn't get pickpocketed.
That has
'Cause
never happened to me,
She was
Joshua.
going to Italy, and I was like, and she's giving me the brand name. I thought she wanted to text it to me, and I was like, I don't want this bag. I don't want it. But anyway, yeah, I tried to send that.
So
by.
you're a no talker too.
I'm a no talker.
Yeah, me too.
But let's see what's going on in the chat here. Ooh, sorry. Shay Slater, I'm new to the channel and travel business and loving you guys already. TGIF.
Well, thanks,
So,
Shay.
Shay, we're glad that you're here. And yes, buckle up because it's going to be a bumpy ride. We have a lot of fun on Fridays, don't we?
We do. It's a great way to unwind after a tough week, right?
Right.
And this is a fun lifestyle, right? But this is our time where we get to celebrate some things that went right, maybe talk about some things that didn't go so well, and have a little fun together.
Celebrate.
So, thanks for being here.
Da, 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 da. I don't know why I forgot the word celebration. I forgot the words.
What are
I
we
don't
singing? Are we
know.
singing Cool in the Gang?
No, I was trying to do Madonna, and I can't. I think I just got a cool card taken away. I got a red. Isn't it called a red card? And I was watching David Beckham's biopic.
Oh, yeah.
And yes, the way they tell the story about one football game, I was like, how do you make 2 episodes out of one game? I'm telling you. Whew.
You were intrigued, though, weren't you?
No, I was
Almost enough to get you to watch a game?
no,
Not quite that much.
No, I just
Not at all.
there was a lot going on there.
Okay.
All right, so let's go back to the chat. We got Daniela. Happy Friday and happy Mother's Day to our amazing TQ moms. Happy Mother's Day to
Yes.
everybody. Did you remember Mother's Day?
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
The hesitation in your voice made
Well,
me a little suspect.
it was such a ridiculous notion that I wouldn't have.
Well, I remembered Mother's Day, but I didn't remember my magnificent other's birthday.
Yeah.
How'd
that go?
Yeah, that went over very well. But I found there are some great online tools that will help you note important holidays and give you advance notice. So next year that won't happen again.
One year I did forget my wife's birthday, our anniversary, and Mother's Day. All the same year, and they're about, 6 weeks. Three holidays in a 6-week period. That was a long time ago, and that's why I now believe in work-life balance.
That's why I now.
It's just a PSA.
That's why I'm
Your
now
Uncle Jason.
forced to believe in work-life balance. I love it. Well,
I'm still reminded of it each year.
does she
As
really
I
do
should be.
that?
As I should be, because that's pretty bad.
Well, I know that Jillian is watching because she watches every week, right?
I don't know.
Yeah, go.
He loves you dearly, and
Absolutely.
he blocks off his calendar to make sure that he takes care of you. I, on the other hand, do not. So, anyway. I do adore you, Jillian. Sorry. All right, Worldview Chris said, Happy Friday. Sometimes I will chat if the person starts the convo or if I have something particularly interesting to comment on. Well, one thing that our audience doesn't know about Chris is that he often has something he wants to comment on. So I kind of feel like, I don't know that I trust that answer. I just, I feel like he's probably pretty chatty Cathy.
Yeah, if I had to put my money on it, everyone in the room is nodding yes. We see you, Chris.
Yeah, we see you like Avatar see you. We see you, okay? Let's see. Andy said, Happy Friday, Andy. Laura said, Happy Friday, never on a plane, but always in an Uber, which now thinking about it is strange. That's interesting. Never on a plane, but always. I guess I do that too. But do you talk to people at the gate?
Oh, gosh, no.
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 Because I feel like, especially we fly Delta a lot,
Mm-hmm.
and when they start calling the zones and like, here comes the medallion, diamond medallion or whatever, I feel like that's a very segregating kind of a scenario. It's like, oh, it's nice.
You're in zone 4.
I'll see you on the other side. What I'm going to ask you this question though. What about when you are traveling with a coworker and you end up sitting on like either side of the aisle?
Do you talk across the aisle?
It's the most uncomfortable thing.
I've noticed that because I think I've done that to you, and you're like, I don't know him. He's like eating his peanuts very carefully,
Yeah.
like looking around, like, who is this guy?
I don't think that we've flown side by side, but another
We
teammate-
have. I know you've been in the front, and I tried to talk to you, and you were not having it. I'm like, okay, I'll see you when we land.
Probably because I can't hear. That's probably what it was. But somebody who we used to work with,
Yeah.
Rick, my first time traveling with him, we ended up in that situation.
Uh-huh.
And, like, hey, have a good flight, whatever. We're going to watch a movie, just we're not together, right? And then he's messing with his phone. I think he just got his phone, and he accidentally turned the flashlight on and couldn't figure out how to turn it off. And I just kept...
You did one of those, didn't
I
you?
was like, oh, and he's dropped it on the floor and everything. Yeah. Anyway, that's awful. I'm telling all the secrets here. Let's see. Hold on. Oh, I just scrolled way past it. Hold on 1 second. World Via Chris, he responded to Laura and said, I've been in a few Ubers with you, and I can attest to the fact that she does to talk to the Uber driver. I could believe that. I feel like Laura would chat anybody up. Philly Hogan said, Happy Friday from Charlotte, North Carolina. I usually like to talk, so I do talk to everyone. I always want to see if I can make a person put a smile on their face.
Oh, see, now, they're so nice, and we sound like the most evil people.
I just realized I was
Self-absorbed. We're not talking to anybody. See, that's how we need to act.
well, you know what? Sometimes you should just accept who you are. I'm just saying, maybe. Let's see. Lisa said, Happy Friday. I do chat on airplanes. If someone is chatting next to me and if the Uber driver chats, I will chat. But you know what? I have to say this about Lisa. Mm-hmm. Wherever I have been with Lisa, at events, anything like that, she does genuinely enjoy conversation. Mm-hmm. And I think that's something that is not easy for me. So I think that's...
Here's the weird thing for me. I love talking to people that I know, even know them casually, right? So you talk about, running into someone that you've met a time or two, and you sit and have a great conversation. It's like the thing when you're at like the gate at an airport, Like I never feel the urge to like strike up a conversation.
Yeah.
But some people do. It just comes naturally to them.
Yeah.
I'm envious of that.
I feel like they might have had a few cocktails before.
Maybe.
So they're warmed up for it. Yeah. I had some coffee. That was it. Well, that's interesting. Andy said, I chat on planes and I chat in Ubers. It drives my wife crazy. She's concerned I'm giving away too much personal information. It's the New Jersey in her. Mind your business. And as we have a resident of New Jersey in the house, I really love that this came up. Our Erica, who resides in Jersey. I love it. So I'm going to, just as an aside on this, on the whole Jersey thing, Northerners. They are very obsessed with being from the North, okay? And the Northeastern people are definitely. Eric and I are having a conversation with Paul and Christopher, and we're talking about when to do different things, like in January, February. Could we go to Boston? Could we go to New York? Whatever. And this is Erica. She goes, Joshua, nobody who lives in New Jersey is going to go to Manhattan in January or February. And nobody's going down to Philly. Nobody's going up to Boston. It's just not going to happen. It needs to be springtime. That's when it needs to happen. She gesticulated and everything. I think that was a pretty, for those of you who are around, I was pretty much spot on. Yep. Thank you. Anyway. Paul said, when I travel with people, I know I talk at full volume, so whether people like it or not, they have to listen. They're always welcome to join in, though. That's fantastic. Bill said, planes are too loud to talk. Uber, it depends on the driver, but usually yes.
See, Bill. Once again, Bill has it right.
Yeah, Bill is like the amen corner, isn't he?
It's too loud. That might. I think that's a big part of it. But it's
Yeah.
just too loud on a plane. I can't hear very well to begin with.
Right. Yeah, once the sounds are going on in the background,
Yeah,
it's just too
too
much.
much.
Are you guys?
If like our kitchen exhaust fan is on, I can't. Like Jillian, what? What'd you say? And she's like, "Oh my God, get a hearing aid."
Well, at dinner last night, I was told that I had to get a hearing aid, so that's fantastic. Somebody even gave me a suggestion of which one. Amy, thank you.
Oh, so you're comparing models and everything.
Oh no, she told me what to buy. She was
Okay.
like, "You need to buy this one." Anyway,
So is this happening? Are you gonna get one?
I think I'm gonna have to because I think it would also give me, I could eavesdrop without really having to show that I'm eavesdropping.
40 is the new 80.
You think I'm 40? That's great. It's very cute. Rita said, I randomly start talking to people and it drives my husband or hubby crazy. You go, Rita. I love it. I think it's interesting. We all have, these are very common scenarios.
Yeah.
And everybody has a different reaction to it. And I will say that I genuinely am very introverted, especially when I'm by myself. But when I'm around other people, it does kind of come out.
Mm-hmm.
The first time I ever went on a cruise, I was surprised at how friendly everyone gets on a cruise. And that basically made me want to hide
It
for a
wasn't the
little
big
bit.
nude boat, was it?
It was the big nude boat because that's how I travel on the big nude
I'm like
boat.
a 12-year-old.
You are. I swear. And I just want it noted. I'm going to get out my wand here for this. I want it noted that sometimes when I get a little too off script, you're like, you need
Bring it
to,
around.
Yeah, bring it on home. Stop circling the airport, and you just keep taking me back to the big new boat. So
All right. I'm done.
anyway, so we kind of teased this at the beginning. Travel tax. Would you pay a travel tax to go to your favorite destination or a desired destination? I thought we had killed that sound effect.
We did not. I'm going to snap the head.
Today on Current Affair. I am Maury
Wasn't that the...
Was it?
Was
I don't
it? Yeah.
remember. Oh, Erica's.
Erica's giving them...
You know what? Erica needs to just move in. Like, we need a director's chair for Erica. So, the story is
Yeah.
that in Venice, they're starting to. At first, we had talked about this that they were going to
Right.
put together.
Yeah, we've talked about this a few times. I think.
Yeah, a travel tax. And you've said that there's other places that have put these types of taxes in. But it is curious because I know I was curious about like South Beach. So the main strip, every hotel, at least last time I was there, every hotel had a separate like a hospitality tax. So you paid more than you did 2 blocks down for anything that you were getting. So I was like, okay, that makes sense. But we were looking at an article and basically, as people are coming into the city, there's somebody collecting, like the
Yeah.
Salvation Army.
Yeah, and they're I think it was 150 workers that they've hired, and they're all wearing these fluorescent yellow safety vests so they can stand out, and they're helping people so they can go to this website on their mobile device and pay the tax. And if you're local, they direct you to a separate line. So now it's kind of like we have the TSA in the middle of St. Mark's Square, which is super. Not really.
I know.
Yeah. But I expect this stuff to continue in some of these really popular destinations. If for nothing else, then it's generating revenue for the municipality. So whether we like it or we don't, I wouldn't expect it to stop.
Just feel like you would. Andy said junk fees.
Junk fees, exactly. Yeah.
But-
And look, we've had like as you mentioned, we've had like lodging taxes forever.
Yeah.
Right? And all kinds of tourist taxes. This is just another variety, I think.
I know, but
But a fleet of like, you know, meter maids effectively collecting this, that's interesting.
I feel like if you invest in a good product, then you can invite the tourists and you can get the money through taxes like that. But I don't know. That just seems, I don't know.
Well, they have too many tourists. It's to combat over tourism.
Oh, see, Erica is so wise, the over tourism piece.
Yeah.
But if you're getting more money, then just keep on adding on to your city. Isn't Venice just floating in water anyway? Just keep on taking over the ocean. I mean, this is the hard-hitting truth that I'm delivering. This is the message that I'm delivering to all of you.
You know, they might have to collect a lot of €5 fees to add a new part of an island.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen, but let's see. Shay said, I would prefer not to pay a tax, but it will depend on the destination.
Yeah.
So, anyway.
Like, would you? I mean, if it's talking about Venice specifically, would that stop anybody from going there? I can't imagine it's going to.
No.
I mean,
How much, do you know how much the tax was?
It's a few euros. It's not a lot.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like I've got that in my couch. I could,
You might.
I probably do.
You might.
When you do travel all over the place, you end up with all this currency.
Well,
and you're
look,
like,
I don't know if you can see it.
Monopoly money.
Here's a picture of some of these safety tax collectors.
love it.
It's like the Walmart greeters or the folks who are working in the Walmart parking lot, bringing the shopping carts in.
well, but you know, you do need to
Come
be able
here.
to identify them. However, I would say, let's pick a beautiful brand color. Like the what is the Venice brand color?
Safety yellow. That's not it.
No, that's not it.
No.
But I think it has lions in it.
Yeah.
Anyway, then we were talking about world cruises.
Yeah.
So you and I were talking about this just a little bit ago.
Uh-huh.
That back when you got started in the industry, world cruises were not so common. And it was a big deal. There was a very, very specific customer, kind of like a four-leaf clover that you might be looking for.
Yeah. I mean,
Ooh, that was actually
world cruises
authentic
were six figures,
there. Yeah.
right? And were, extremely long. And the number of clients who could afford a product like that were very few. And while there might have been some folks who really specialized in that, and there were, when you got one of these world cruise clients, it was more like, oh my gosh, you hit the lottery. It wasn't like very few people set out to build a world cruise clientele. Some did, but very few. And now you're seeing them become really, really popular and at different price points. So it's not just your regions or then the crystals of the world. It's a lot of different cruise lines coming up with these world cruise itineraries. You're seeing a lot of people who are, have retired early. You're seeing a lot of the baby boomer generation who have retired now and have all this disposable savings to spend. You're seeing people work remotely who are all tapping into these world cruise itineraries. And now I think it's a legitimate niche for someone to specialize in. There's enough variety in the product. There's enough different customer segments that are buyers of these products. And we keep, there's one, you kind of teased at the beginning, Princess has come out with a world cruise itinerary that's 28 countries and starts at $25,000. And it's 114 days, 52 ports. That's tremendous value if your interest is checking off destinations. Right, and not to say that that's the only thing it offers, but when you look at it, kind of price per day and all of that, that's a pretty compelling offering. So we keep seeing these stories, almost week in, week out, new world cruise, new world cruise, new world cruise, and some of that's viral. We had the big Royal Caribbean, world cruise kind of social media
Influencer,
phenomenon
yeah.
that happened a couple months ago. So I wouldn't expect it to slow down anytime soon.
Well, and that also makes me think of, we always talk about niching down, figuring out what your niche is, and really investing in that. But if someone was thinking about doing a world cruise, there would be some logistical questions that one might have. And that your knowledge in that area,
Yeah.
so like you were saying, plenty of different product options, but also your knowledge of how does it work? Like, what if you
Right.
get sick and you're
Yeah,
or
it's not your typical,
how do you do laundry?
7-day to the Bahamas.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So I don't know if you're in cruising and you're looking for a niche, this could be a pretty lucrative thing. And if you ended up going on a world cruise and selling world cruises as well, what interesting social media content.
Yeah, I think, and you'd have to have the right situation to be able to do this, but what a great product to sell while you're engaged in it, right?
Yeah.
So you're just living on the ship essentially and operating from there.
Yeah.
That's
But a word to the wise. Your internet is always going to be a little bit iffy.
Yeah.
So you got to factor that in. Make sure the ports and everything like that are all set up.
Yeah.
And that's
take
when,
some pre-planning.
yeah, some pre-planning. But you could have a very lucrative business
I think so.
cruising and selling that lifestyle.
It's not for everybody, but I think
Yeah.
it's
I tell you
it's-
what, there are some days where I just want to get on a world cruise. No internet. Just gone.
leave all of this behind.
Oh, I can't remember.
You would
I would
miss,
die.
You would miss all of this.
I
and
would
all
absolutely.
of them in about 4 minutes.
Yeah, I would come up with some idea. I would be like talking to a server, being like, "Hey, do you want to do it like a Facebook Live type of thing?" Like, I gave up on my internet, but maybe you have some. I bet you got that crew internet. Like, I bet it works.
You have an in.
You've got an in. I gotta feed my fix.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that would be so. Way to go, Princess.
Yeah.
I think Princess. There's two cruise lines that I want to pay attention to for the rest of the year.
Okay.
And it's Princess and Azamara.
Okay.
There just seems to be some energy.
Something in the water.
Something in the water.
There it is. Thank you, Evan.
Yeah.
That was bad.
When he's actually
that was bad.
when he's actually not on his TikTok,
Yes.
then he can like
Be
participate
quick
in
with
the humor.
the
Yeah.
sound effects.
Yeah. So what I can see, guys, and I swear I'm gonna get a camera right here just so you can see them. If I call one out, the other one's like, ha 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 ha. It's very entertaining. It's very entertaining. So today we thought we would talk about something. I was just talking about niches, but we thought we would talk about elevator pitches. And because we like to talk about elevator pitches. I know many of you are working on your elevator pitch, or you are refining your elevator pitch, or you're even like you're like, you know what? I've got to abandon that elevator pitch. I'm going to go do something completely different. So we thought we'd have a little fun with it. But first, before we do, what is an elevator pitch, Jason?
Well, in my
Oh, well, not that. So you know what? Rehearsal.
Yes.
We need to do rehearsal time.
rehearsal, but that would be
That's not
too
real.
contrived. No,
That's too
This is
contrived.
all
Live.
off the cuff.
Strive
yes.
to be live.
Right.
So,
So what were you asking me?
what is an elevator pitch, Jason?
Like just generally?
Yes.
Well, it's your short introduction to who you are, what you do, why you do it, and what value you bring.
And the idea is that it's supposed to be short enough
Short enough.
that you get in the elevator and you
Yeah.
get to your floor and you're able to transfer that information. This is not you got cocktails and canapes and you're sitting in the corner and you're telling the whole story about how you invented tourism in Mexico or something, right?
Right.
Right. It's not that.
We actually met that guy.
Yeah, we did. But I'm just saying it's not
Yeah.
the whole story.
Who knew?
It's the sampling. It's just a sample, but you're trying to
Yes.
get to the point, right?
The amuse-bouche.
The amuse-bouche. I like that. I like that.
Yes.
So I have a formula that I
Okay.
use, and so that's what producer Evan was trying to sneak in there. So before we go to that, what we're talking about again is your sales pitch, your quick sales pitch about what you do, and it's to get people to understand what you do, and potentially they might not be your customer,
Right.
but you're putting the words in their mouth. So then instead of saying, oh, Jason Block, he does something in travel,
Right.
they actually know what it is. So producer Evan, will you pull up, I'm sure you have it handy. Here is the formula for like the little elevator graphic. It's a little abstract there. So, so 3 parts to this. Do you know? What I do, so that. Okay. So the formula goes like this. You address a pain point, like have you ever experienced XYZ, right? And then what I do is, well, I do this, and then the so that is so that you don't essentially have that pain point anymore. Okay? So that's the formula, and it's more like almost like, are you into journaling?
No.
Okay. If you were,
I thought that was rhetorical for a second. Then I realized you were actually asking me.
I could tell. I could see it. I could see it in the eyes.
I travel.
So when Evan travels, he does. But sometimes for those of you out there who do journal, you get journal prompts. So really, these are your prompts.
Okay.
Do you know what I do? So that. So I have an example. So this is here is my do you know? So, do you ever get so hungry that your stomach feels like it's touching your spine?
Oh,
Doesn't that sound like a pain point?
that sounds intense.
It does. It's very, very intense. What would you answer? How would you answer that question?
I say, well,
Maybe not in
sure.
those terms.
Maybe not in those terms, but yes.
Yes.
I'm so hungry right now.
Well, let me tell you
My
what
spine is being touched.
Sorry. So, what I do is, well, I make apple pies using my grandmother's famous recipe exclusively for hungry people. Okay? So that you never have that stomach touching your spine feeling again.
Oh, I see.
You see how I brought that right back around?
Yes.
I'm really proud of that example. And I have never used that phrase before. I'm so hungry that my stomach is touching my spine. But I went to hospital this week, and the nurse who was doing the vital stuff, whatever, she said, "Oh, I am so hungry. My stomach is touching my spine." And I was,
I've never heard that before.
yeah, she said it's because she's from Alabama. So very colorful statements there.
Okay.
So that's the formula.
All right.
So
I can
we
dig it.
thought it'd be fun because it's never fun. You're pretty sensitive when you're talking about your own business, right? It's hard for you to get out of your head. So we thought it might be fun if you guys gave us some imaginary jobs or services that either Jason or I would offer, and we'll come up with an elevator pitch on the fly. So drop those in the chat. He's not so sure about this. I'm
We'll
not
see,
either.
we'll see.
But we'll help each other out.
We'll see how we do.
Yeah, we'll see how we do. But you have a formula very similar.
Yeah,
and
it's
you
similar.
can't-
It's very similar.
Yeah. So why don't you share that?
Well, I don't have any fancy graphics, so I'll have to kind of just verbalize and act it out as we go.
Yes, I love a little pantomime.
So the whole thing is centered around solving a problem, but it starts out with I help somebody, an audience, who you serve, achieve this or something, and that's the value that you bring, right? And then by doing this, so that's what you actually do and how you provide that value. So I actually wrote down, I knew we were going to be talking about this, so I wrote down an example to help illustrate this. So the formula that I use is I help X achieve Y by doing Z. Okay?
That's very algebraic of you.
I like, you know me, I like, equations and
No,
whatnot.
but that's why I
So-
thought I would beat you with a
I-
graphic.
I-
I was
well,
like,
you did.
I was like, I think I have an N with producer Evan. I'm going to
You
get
did.
my graphic in.
So this is the one sentence pitch, and you also, and I know this is just the elevator pitch, but what I like to do is after you deliver that, immediately jump into a story,
Okay.
even if there's no time,
Right.
because when you jump into a story, especially if you start the story off with a problem,
Okay.
ideally that a client had, right?
Yeah, like stomach touching the spine.
Right. You're creating that interest in, oh my gosh, what happened? Right? And they may not be on the edge of their seat like they're at a, Hollywood blockbuster, but they might be somewhat inclined to listen. It's a lot better than if you were leading with, hey, there's a great sale on Princess today. Right? They're like,
No, that's true.
stop selling.
True.
Right?
Yeah,
So here's my example. So I'm going to pretend that in this example that I am a shirt salesman or shirt business. So I help fashion-challenged middle-aged men bring a little sparkle into their boring wardrobes and get attention wherever they go by providing a huge selection of vibrant Hawaiian-themed shirts made of high-quality imported rayon. Now, from that, and yes, it's a ridiculous example, but you know exactly what I do
Is it?
and who I help.
Is it ridiculous? I don't know.
But you could immediately then jump into a story. Like one time, I had this client named Joshua, and he was known for lacking any and all fashion sense, and no one could ever notice him. But I was able to help brighten his wardrobe and help him stand out amongst his peers with my authentic Hawaiian shirts.
That was good.
That's a stupid example, but
It's not a stupid example.
hopefully you get the point. Start up with a problem when you're telling that story. Talk about what you did, what your solution was, and then why that was valuable.
Yes. And oh, you got a really
Take
sad.
applause from Evan. Thank you, Evan.
Now, there's I gave a formula. It's one that I've used in different scenarios, and I sometimes I feel, and it's even like using content creator tools, AI tools to write articles, and now they're getting so amazing. But I always, even if AI generates something, I still need to smooth it over. I need to say it out loud, maybe break up some paragraphs. I need to put my own little spin on it, right? But I find that having prompts just helps. Why are you? I feel. What are you? Are you judging me?
No.
Oh, you had a sneaky smile about
Oh, no,
you,
I'm sorry.
like a Cheshire cat. Hey, Evan, can we order a Cheshire cat? I feel like we're missing something right here. No, but I feel like just having the prompts get you talking, and then I firmly believe that you just got to keep on saying it out loud to yourself in the shower, and then you find the place. And I love what you said about that stories, but there are different formulas to getting there. So there's a lot of research you can do, but we're just having fun with elevator pitches.
Yeah.
It's kind of like car karaoke. Like this could be our thing. So we do have a couple
Okay, what do we
of
got?
samples here. So from Andy, we got underwater basket weaver.
Oh boy. Okay.
Yeah. So Andy, I appreciate that. That could have been. I mean, it's very niche. It's very niche.
Yeah, I like it. I like it.
So
Any other choices? Or we stuck with that?
that's not how the game works. Like it's
Okay.
like win, lose or draw. You got this.
We have no choice. It's
Yeah,
just- that's what we got.
choose.
All right.
So what's a pain point that baskets solve?
Oh, I was already like, I'm going to take a minute and come up with something brilliant here.
Okay. All right. So
It'll be a pitch off.
oh, okay. So we're doing okay.
Joshua, in the meantime.
Apparently, you don't get any time to.
Just tell people if they.
Oh. Oh, so producer Evan is telling me in the meantime, please send us a postcard. We normally only do that when we have a postcard. But yes, if you are, while Jason is writing this, if you are traveling anywhere in the world, in the country, send us a postcard for us to add to our wall here behind me. You see all this space right here? This is all prime real estate for your postcard. Send it to us and we will read it on air. Any kind of references to the big nude boat are always helpful. So while Jason is typing, I want to talk a little bit about, I don't want to have a huge discussion with myself while he's typing, but there was a story this week that the celebrity Edge got a little too close to Hawaii. And that was a little bit, I think the name Celebrity Edge and then them kind of getting a little too close to, there's some areas that are blocked off, and they kind of scraped up against it. Is the way I'm gonna summarize that story. But you never know what kind of adventure you might happen upon on a cruise. Of course, we love celebrity, but I do find that I didn't realize that there were, especially around a place like Hawaii, there were very specific lanes that you are supposed to be traveling in. So I think that's kind of interesting. You're really working away on this. It's making me making me nervous. Okay, he's working on it, and we've definitely got a lot of people throwing in some jobs here for us. So
okay, good.
So we got more to come. But hold on a second. So Rebecca said, "Oh my gosh, Josh with no fashion. No one is going to believe that one." Face blue smiling.
Emoji. It's just,
Oh,
yeah.
so producer Evan needs to warn me about the emojis. They don't necessarily translate. Man, you are, Andy. I swear, we better start this underwater basket weaving profession here. All right, how? Do you have it now?
I think. It's not perfect, but it's a start.
Okay.
I have two.
You got two.
I have two. I used each of our formulas.
Well, my little story about the Celebrity Edge wasn't very long, but you were able to knock out two elevator pitches.
Formulas make it easy.
Formulas do make it easy. Oh, I like that. Okay,
Easier.
So Andy, if you just joined
Okay.
us, Andy gave us a job, and Jason is going to give us elevator.
One that doesn't exist, I might add.
Oh no, it does.
Oh really?
Yeah, it's
Is
okay.
underwater basket weaving an actual
Yeah.
profession?
Well, it's a thing.
Well, I mean, I know baskets are a thing and underwater's a thing, but
No, I feel like in South Carolina they do that.
okay, let's dive in.
Okay, we're diving in.
No pun intended. All right, so here we go. I use my formula first, just not because it's better, even though maybe it is. Okay. I help schools of fish all across the ocean bring organization and beauty into their lives by weaving some of the most beautiful, high-quality baskets available in the Atlantic. Okay. Now here's your formula.
No, but I just want to point out that
Yeah.
you showed who you served at the very top end of that. Just that is your formula. So
Right.
I like that.
Okay, so here's one for all you Disney fans. So the Little Mermaids don't lose their what's-its and who's-its galore. We weave the highest quality baskets available in the sea.
Oh, okay.
Or who's-its and what's-its galore, how's the song go?
I
You know what I'm talking about? Little Mermaid?
I know what Little Mermaid is,
Okay.
but I'm not. I know she goes, "I want to be where the people are," or something.
Right, yeah, something like that.
But I don't remember all of that. Okay.
So I don't know if I fully got your formula there, but
So you have to explain that that it's very stressful for your who's its and what's its to be.
so they lose them and then they don't know how to.
Yeah. Have you ever lost your who's it and what's it, and been very upset and bothered by it?
Have you ever lost all of your who's its and what's its?
Well, I weave baskets underwater, so they are primed for existing underwater, right? Because most land baskets will not hold up for
No, you have to have a
for
special
decades.
underwater
And when you're a mermaid, you probably live a long time. So
Probably.
you need a basket that will really stand the test of time. Yeah.
Okay. Nailed it.
Yeah, nailed it. Nailed it.
You spell
But
was it?
who's it's? I think it's WHO''S. Who's it's?
And
then what's
Andy
it's.
said, "Well done."
The point, though, here, I mean, people talk about elevator pitches, but we never really, rarely do you get into, okay, how do you actually build one,
Right.
right? It's like, oh, you need an elevator pitch. Go make your elevator pitch. Okay, what, you might tell me what it is, but is there an easy way to accomplish that? Yeah, there is. Just think about some of these rules, and I think you can have something that you can then, once you get someone, somewhat interested, then you can go into a longer conversation about, a time you helped a client or a pain point that you're able to address. And as a sales professional, right? Every interaction, you're at the grocery store, the gas station, wherever you are, is an opportunity to tell your story and potentially make a new client relationship. And if you're not armed with something that you can easily rattle off, you're going to be far less likely to initiate those contacts, right?
Right. And
So-
if it sounds like it's too complex,
Yeah.
and you
gotta be
can't tell it in a short,
Concise.
concise manner, then they're definitely going to lose it. And then that's where you get, oh yeah, Jason does something with baskets,
Right.
in the ocean, right? Like you want somebody to be able to say, oh gosh, he takes care of your who's its and what's
Keeps
its.
the mermaids organized.
Yeah, those
Yes.
mermaids, they're very naughty
Right.
and very, they love clutter.
Right. So think about your clients. Think about the people you're trying to attract. What's the pain point you're really solving? As a travel professional, there's lots of things that you do, but each of your businesses is positioned a little bit different, and you're solving maybe a little bit different pain points depending on what your niche is. So really think about what's the primary pain point that I'm addressing here, and let that kind of guide you.
Right. And just a word of advice that you don't want to just tell an elevator pitch around being a travel advisor. There's only, I love this saying,
Yeah.
there's only one me in the galaxy. I am an endangered species, okay? So once you put the you into any story,
Yes.
that's going to make it unique. But if you say, I help people plan the vacations of their dreams,
Yeah.
that
I feel like there's a
is
lot of
use.
people that might say they do that, right?
They do that, but what is the you
Yeah.
in there? What do you bring to it? And it could be, I always fall back to Disney because it's so. I'm always fascinated by a Disney agent because they know things that humans don't know. It's just like there's a level of complexity to it.
Right.
But that's what that traveler is getting, is that expertise. So you want to work that in. You want to weave that in. So yes, it could be a magical adventure, but it's a magical adventure with insider knowledge. Yeah. Bill said baskets are the best storage solution, but they tend to dry too quickly, fall apart. I weave my baskets underwater to prevent them from drying too quickly. I think Bill and I were on the same
love it.
wavelength on that.
love
Now, Terry, I think he's throwing up. Not throwing up. He's throwing out. Yeah. Woo. I tell people where to go, and they actually go there. So Terry, I'm gonna just give you that formula again. Do you know? So put out that pain point, and what I do so that, and like the part of your formula where you're saying who you do it. I kind of weaved mine in there. Oh, weave. with my baskets.
basket.
Yeah. But I weaved it in there with the, so I help hungry people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I do like Terry's one-liner. Like, if you're just looking for a quick zing to get someone's attention, and they look at you a little confused, then you can follow it with your pitch.
Yeah.
It might work in certain situations.
Yeah.
I like it. I'm going to steal that, Terry.
Yeah, I think those are the people that have that mystique quality. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'll throw you a crumb. I'm not
Gonna make you
giving
work
you.
for it.
Yeah, and then it's like
Yeah.
when people lower their voice a little bit, and you have to lean in. So it's like lean in, and I'll
Can you
tell
keep
you.
a secret?
Yeah,
One of those?
yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know there's something? This is really random, but I was on YouTube,
Okay.
as you do, as I hope you're doing right now, and please make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you get the notifications, and tell your friends too as well. Okay, let's get that out of the way. But I was on YouTube,
Yes.
and there's this whole thing called AMSR.
AMSR.
AMSR, I think.
Okay.
ASMR, sorry. Thank you. Producer Evan has it right. And so it's like it just randomly shows up on my feed. And it's videos of people whispering. And they're like, hi, I'm here. They it's a calming thing. And it's all about sounds too. So they're like, oh, I'm the shoe salesman, and I'm going to size your shoe. And then they take a microphone and they take the paper from the shoe box, and you hear it crinkling in the thing. So it's a soothing thing. It helps people calm down.
Oh, really?
Yeah, kind of like this show. Sound effect. Yeah, there you go. Not like this show at all. Now, it has been a great Friday, but last
Yes.
week we promised to talk about your holiday that you just took last
Yeah.
week. And you went to a place that you love.
I did love it, yeah.
Well, you love it. You loved it before you went too. You've been there before. You've
I
been
had been there a long time ago.
Oh, it was a long time ago.
Yeah.
So where did you go?
I went to Antigua, or
Ooh.
Antigua.
Oh, look at
depending on-
Antigua here.
Isn't that pretty?
Oh, are those the clearest waters in the world?
They are not.
They're not.
They're not.
Okay. We'll save that for another day.
They were very clear, but we have another story on the clearest waters, which maybe we'll get to, maybe we won't.
Okay.
We'll
So
have to hang on.
So
Yeah, but
Obviously-
Antigua it was fantastic.
So we just saw a picture of Antigua, and it looked gorgeous. It looked very tropical. But we also wanted to show a map because many of us don't actually know a lot of geography. And I'll be honest with you, I know there is a place called Antigua.
Yes,
Had
you're
no
correct.
idea where it was. And here we go. Producer Evan has put up a little graphic to point out, look at where it is in the
There you
Caribbean.
There you
It
go.
is way, way over there.
It is north of South America in the, what is it, the Lesser Antilles, I think.
Yes?
I think it's the Lesser.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's down there in the Southern Caribbean.
So what did you do? What did you like about it?
So we
Or what
went
do you
to,
like about
we,
it?
we were only there for a few days. We were celebrating our anniversary.
That he remembered,
we-
everyone.
Yes, ahead of time, no less. in time enough to plan a trip. But we went to Sandals, Grand Antigua, and I'd never been to that property before. Really beautiful grounds.
Really?
Yeah, so like, as I think about things, I compare it to like each aspect. I don't know if you do this, but each aspect of a resort or an island or destination, like to the best in that category. So I think about when I think of like grounds and landscaping, I think generally Disney is among the best of just having manicured, grounds
Right.
and gardens and all that. So that's kind of my 10. I would say this property was a 9.5. So just really beautiful grounds. And it had a very nice tropical feel. The beach was fantastic. The staff was very friendly, and we just had a great time relaxing for a few days. Which, if you're talking about a beach trip, that's what I'm looking for. So we had a great time.
And I imagine
Yeah.
more the Eastern Caribbean is a little less touristy than the Western Caribbean?
Well, we went from the airport right to the resort.
Okay.
And we didn't really explore the island because we were only there a couple days. It did not. So the beach there was not fully private. So the beaches are somewhat public there.
Okay.
I wouldn't call it touristy feeling at all.
Okay.
So it's not like, some of the Caribbean destinations, especially if you're on a cruise, right? You get off the cruise port and there's 5,000 people trying to sell you something.
Yeah.
It was not that kind of feeling at all. Even at the airport, it was, some places Cancun, certainly Dominican Republic. You go into Punta Cana, there's a lot of people trying to sell you things and offer you rides. And Antigua is not like that at all. It was, everything was very organized and very. You could see the British influence. That's right, and a lot of cricket fields as well.
Did you play a little cricket?
I did not play a little cricket.
Wasn't a sticky wicket?
But it's funny. We landed, and my wife and I didn't really know if it had, whether this was one of the former British colonies or kind of what its past was. And we're in the customs line or immigration line, and there's a big photo. I think it's actually a photo that you showed on the screen, and it said English Harbor. And we're like, I'm thinking this is probably English. And then we see the cricket field, and then they're driving on the left side of the road. I'm like, I'm going to go out on a limb, hun, and say this was a British colony at one point.
Newcastle and Charlestown, that makes sense over here in St. Kitts for.
I feel like we need to mic
I
up
know.
producer Evan because he's given us a lot of commentary here.
But it was a beautiful island. It was a beautiful island. You had some hills and mountains. It was great. It was
That's
great.
awesome.
And I ran into one of our members there.
You did. That's right. I
Yeah.
forgot.
And I have a little bit of bone to pick with you, Rachel.
Okay, Rachel, what'd you do?
So we met up. We were going out to dinner one night, and we're at the hibachi restaurant, Japanese themed, and they have different drinks in each of the different restaurants. They have some specialty drinks, and Rachel says, I was here last night, and I had this drink that was just amazing, just terrific. And I was like, okay, which one? She's like, the samurai. You need to order the samurai. So I don't, look at the description really. I was like, okay.
It was a recommendation.
Yeah. See, people
Rachel.
trust referrals
Yeah.
and recommendations. So I ordered the samurai.
What was in the samurai?
Samurai is supposed to be a fruity martini, okay?
Oh, okay. That sounds delicious.
And it's got a little kick to it.
Oh.
It's got a little Scotch bonnet pepper.
Oh,
Now,
that's a little more than a kick. That's
I
like a
love
kick in the...
Scotch bonnet peppers. Like
you
I
really?
have some. You see them in a lot of the Caribbean hot sauces. It's kind of like the yellow, delicious. This was a martini with watermelon puree and Scotch bonnet pepper. And drinking this was kind of like someone maced me while I was at a fruit stand. It was not a good drink. And as I'm drinking it, I look over and Rachel's just snickering. She knew exactly what she was doing. Just snickering at me. And I was like, you knew this wasn't great. And she goes, no, I really enjoyed it. And then so she tried a sip of mine and she's like, oh, this is spicier than it was yesterday. I'm like, uh-huh. So I don't know. I don't know if she was fooling me or if really the one she had the previous day wasn't quite so spicy. But thank you, Rachel. I enjoyed the cocktail. Now, we did get together the next evening for some cocktails. And
Real ones, not
real
the
ones,
samurai.
yes.
Yeah.
So it was very nice to see her in person. It was fun.
But I also want to point out that you guys didn't arrange that trip together.
Oh, no.
So,
No, it just...
So that, I think, is... When you said that you saw her,
Yeah.
I was like, wait a minute. That was very unplanned. No.
Yeah, no.
So you never know when you might run into one of us on your travels.
That's right.
But if you try to pull that stuff on me, Rachel, I'm telling you, I will come right to the press. I will make sure. I talking about surprise. Running into people. Erica was telling us that she ran into one of our members, and they said, I feel like I saw you at the airport, but it was in Newark, and she was like. Yes, that was me. not listening. So I love that.
Yeah, we had a great time.
Well, I'm glad that you had a great time, and Antigua definitely sounds like it's on my list.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
I would
Beautiful
like
beaches.
I have to say that most of the Caribbean that I've done, it's been very cruise porty, and that is a big turnoff to me. Like I need mermaids and dolphins and stuff. You know, that's kind of
There was plenty of underwater baskets.
underwater baskets. There you go. Well, listen, guys. I know we went a little bit over today, but I hope you had a great time. This is definitely one of the best days of the week for both Jason and I, as well as the rest of the crew here. I want to give a big shout out to producer Evan, who keeps us on target and also makes sure that we look good. That's really important. And then there's producer Paul. Not really sure what he does, but very, very grateful to have him here. No. Just kidding, guys. Love you all. And thank you guys for tuning in. We will see you next week. Actually, you won't see me next week because I'll be in Hawaii. Happy talking, happy talk. Yes. Oh, yeah, we're going to do all of that.
I wish you were going for... Yeah.
Yeah,
I could
I'll
send you in one of my
Yes.
fine rayon Hawaiian
like
shirts.
that. So, as you guys know, I don't like to miss this show at all. So, my anxiety is pretty high.
Remember what happened last time you left?
Yeah, it became a sports den, and I don't want that to happen. So then I sabotage the power.
Yes.
But no, I will not be here. I will be going to Hawaii. So hopefully I will take pictures. It's my first time in Hawaii. So if any of you have any great tips on Hawaii, put them in the comments because I need some advice. I am a poor traveler, poor planner. So please let me know. But next week, join us 4 p.m. Eastern. Jason will be here with a co-pilot. And it will be interesting to see what happens. And please don't turn it into a sports show. Anyway, thank you guys for tuning in live or watching anytime on demand or on your favorite podcasting type station. All right. See you next time. Bye.